Welcome in. Today we visit the undead. Alright, the loadout, let's go. Bring your best melee setup and a good slash weapon. And if you're crying about the changes with the fang, I have no sympathy. Welcome back to the whip. Or an abyssal tentacle if you got it. Alright, look, I won't be listing every weapon you could bring. If you have something like a scythe and a void waker, I mean, dude, you're fine. Speaking of which, the void waker is great here, like everywhere else, of course. But if you're on a budget, a crystal halberd will do you right. You could also try the DDS if you want, but I mean, it didn't hit much for me, so up to you. As for the inventory, I mean, just fill it up with food, boosting potions, and a teleport out. That's pretty much all you need. And also, if you're anxious about your gear being good enough, I do have a clip at the end killing Vardorvis without much on. So just get the mechanics down, and once better gear rolls your way, you'll be set forever. Also, don't be afraid to make mistakes. You're probably going to make a lot of them. I do. Everyone does. And if you don't make mistakes on this game, I mean, maybe ring out that headband. But anyways, off to the mechanics. First up, just pray melee, and I stand in the middle of these columns here. Makes the fight slightly easier, as I don't have to worry so much about his ground attacks, and having a little quadrant also helps with the axes. Alright, so the axe phase here, right? You got this big ass, Vardorvis just spawned it up, right? And then it's making its way towards you, like, fast. So what do? You do this, you hop up into the air like that, and then you just fucking jump over it, right? Oh, that's not the right one. Then you stand back down, you land on your feet, and look at the axe. Watch. There it goes. There it goes, just off to nowhere. And look at you, unharmed, unfazed. 1 or 2 axes will spawn for now. Once he's at half HP, 3 will start to spawn in. Obviously try to avoid being hit. These axes cause bleed damage, being 3 bleed damage every 3 ticks, or 3 damage every 1 tick if you try to move. So if you get hit, just try to stand still for a little bit. Once the health bar is below 80%, a head will pop up and shoot out a range attack. Switch to range protection to negate its effects. If you fail, your prayer will be turned off for 3 ticks and you'll have 10 prey points drained. Don't forget to switch back to melee. Every now and again, daddy's gonna choke you, so just go ahead and click on the little dots that appear on the screen and you're free. Here's an example in case the axe spawns under you. Pick a safe direction and just try to walk in a diagonal line. I kind of walk in front of the columns to avoid being hit by an axe. You can also see the range attack was being shot at the same time. Just try and be observant, there's a lot going on. With this center spot we stand on, there's little Vard can do with his ground attack, but this is an example of one. He slides around cracking the floor where tentacles will pop up, just don't stand on the cracked ground. Now the combos here are almost like a little puzzle. I like to move the camera around a lot for this fight just to see what's going on. A big thing to note, try not to get overwhelmed. I make the axes my highest priority, so when there's a ton going on, I'll make sure I'm at least out of the way of an axe and tank some damage. That's just what I do personally when I'm having issues keeping up. Also at 33% health, we're now at the enraged phase. This is where the spec whip would be great to use if you can. I definitely recommend focusing on staying alive if you're way too overwhelmed and can't actually spec right now. But you know, when in doubt, just whip it out, see what happens. That's about all I can think of to say. I'll let you watch the rest of this unedited so you can see what I do right versus my mistakes. Don't get too clicky. Try to take it slow and focus on what you're doing. It's going to take some attempts, but I have full faith you can get it done. That being said, again, at the end of the video, I have a clip of myself doing this with very little armor, just to show you that it's possible with whatever little mix you're using. So good luck. Maybe consider subscribing to the channel. We're just about 800 subs, 200 to go for that big 1K, and it would be super dope to achieve that. And I thank you for your time. See ya.